absolute hypocrisy. Oh my goodness. So one thing that led me away from the right, the conservative, the new right, whatever you want to call it, was this glaring sense of hypocrisy. And it became increasingly more evident as time went on, because they had a very interesting perspective when it came to black victims, right? Whether it was police brutality or whatever the scenario was. And then there was a stark contrast when that same incident or a similar incident occurred with a non-black person, with a white person. I couldn't help but come to terms with this hypocrisy. I was like, yo, this is hypocrisy, what you guys are doing. And of course, then I became the villain for noticing the hypocrisy. Now, I say that to say this because I think this story is clear and present day of what we're dealing with. When people talk about anti-black racism, when people talk about systemic racism, when people talk about hypocrisy in how this country has framed us in many cases. Because you have this couple who's been accused of shoplifting. They're in the car. An officer runs towards the car and says, hey, get out the car, okay? You're accused of shoplifting.
Shut the car off. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
What are you doing? What is this about?
Get out of the car.
What is this doing?
Now, in that instant, that instant right there, what has the right wing, the racists of the right, what have they told people to do? What have they told black people to do? What is the standard of what you should do upon an officer giving you a lawful command to them? Is that you comply. That's it. You don't ask any questions, right? Because when I brought up, it's like, yo, he's not in a position to do that. That's not right. You don't ask any questions, Lucas. You just do what the officer says, okay? You're fighting in court. You just do what the officer says. That's what these bootlickers say 10 out of 10. Not even 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10, that's what they tell black people. That's what they tell us. So guess what happens in this scenario? Well, guess what? The couple, they don't listen. They don't listen. As a matter of fact, the woman, which is nothing more than trailer trash, that's what we're dealing with here. This trailer trash, the woman says drive. Do you hear me? The woman tells the man to drive. The guy says, what? I don't know. He plays ignorant, right? Well, I don't know what you mean. What you talking about? I didn't do anything. I didn't do nothing, right? He goes do nothing. Full do nothing mode. After the officer gives him, hey, get out of the car. So you want to know what happens then? They drive off. I kid you not, they drive off.
Get out of the car.
Ma'am, you're fucking... Ma'am, get away from my car.
Can't run me over.
I'm not.
Look.
The officer fires one shot.
Police say Michael Campagna and Megan O'Brien were arrested in Boston as fugitives from justice. The 24-year-olds are accused of stealing from Lululemon at Garden City Center, then running over the officer's foot as she tried to stop them.
One shot. Now, we've seen before where a black person doing this, you're dead. It's game over. You're dead. Any type of fertile movement or anything they want to claim it as, they'll fear for their lives and you're done. It's donezo. Now, upon this happening, you'll never believe, okay? The right was actually saying, hey, good job, officer. That officer, you did a good job, that they should have listened. No, of course not. Of course they didn't say that. Because they're anti-black racists. That's why. Many of the people on the right of the Republican Party are anti-black racists. That's what they are. It's not even as far as bootlicking. Because that's what I first thought. I was like, you guys had a bootlicking problem. But no. Because they don't bootlick when it comes to white victims. They only bootlick when it comes to black victims. Because you want to know what the vast majority of the comments were under this post? Oh, the officer was in the wrong. Why the officer fire the shot? That was negligent discharge. I can't believe that they would do such a thing. All the comments were blaming the officer. You even had some talking about, oh, this is why female officers are so dangerous. I can't believe this. They were going so far as to blame the officer just for being a female. That's what they were doing in order to protect this trailer trash. Because it's not about bootlicking. It's about who is the victim. If it's a white person, you see how they react. Because Because you have to understand, the way this officer was going about it was what they imagined an officer treating a black person. That's how they imagine. They say, if this had been a black person, I guarantee, I don't even have to think about it. They would have co-signed the officer's actions. They would have said, hey, why didn't the person comply? There they go again, shoplifting. You know, the Democrats don't want any law and order. That's what they would have done. That's exactly what they would have done. But because this officer was treating this couple the same way they believe that black people should be treated, now it was a problem. What is this? This is very uncommon. I can't believe the officer did such a thing. This is horrible. Man, it's these female officers. They automatically go to coping and caping for the trailer trash. Why? They don't know these people. So once again, I'm not making it racial. I'm just making an observation. They don't know these people. The only thing they know is that they're white. That's it. That they're white trailer trash. That's it. That's all these saltines can see. That's all these saltines care about, is that they're white. And immediately, all they do is get on code. They get on code and say, oh, the officer's to blame. The officer's at fault. The officer's the issue. It's the female officers. The same thing they did with what? Ashley Babbitt. The same thing they did with that trailer trash. What do? Automatically get on code. Officer shouldn't have fired. Why the officer fired? She just had a backpack on. All this explaining they go and do. So it's not a bootlicking is what I first thought it to be. It's not a bootlicking problem. It's a racist problem. It's an anti-black problem. And I'm not making it racial. Once again, I'm not racializing this. I'm just making an observation, a clear and poignant observation over the litany of cases that I've covered on this on my channel, okay? Guess what happens afterwards? Well, we come to find out that Trailer Park Timmy and Trailer Park Susie were in fact shoplifting. That's correct. And they were charged with a felony charge for attempting to assault an officer. Now, you would imagine that the right would be like, good, we got to protect our officers, back the blue. No, they were talking about how the charges should be dropped. That's what they were saying. I couldn't believe my eyes, bruh. I should believe it, given the stories I've covered, but I really couldn't believe this one. They were talking about how the charges should be dropped on these people. Now, can you imagine dealing with these people? Can you imagine why people don't, as far as want to be around the Republican Party, as far as the image of the Republican Party? Do you understand why? Is that these people are nothing but anti-black hypocrites. That's they are. They are overt anti-black racists. That's what they've been for quite some time. That's not to say that the left is any better in many regards, okay? But when it comes to the right, they make their case to be known. They give off this sense of fairness and justice up until the point that you call out fairness and justice. Then, what are you always complaining about? Why you got to be a race baiter? Why are you stereotyping? Lucas, blah, 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 blah. Because they don't want fair and justice. Fair and justice for them is black people being oppressed and subjugated. That's what that means to them. Okay, and case after case after case, there is a certain standard in their heads, a certain amount of privilege that comes with them and their skin color, as opposed to with a black victim where it's like, hey, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that this person's a criminal. Where when it comes to them, right, when it comes to a white person, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that that person's a good person. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that the officer was in the wrong. So when it comes to me, I always give the citizen the benefit of the doubt. I always give the citizen because I'm not really a statist. I'm not really a bootlicker, okay? I'm not one for this massive government pro-police state. I'm not for that. But for them, they have no morals. They have no scruples. For them, it is simply color. And when dealing with these people, you cannot give them the benefit of the doubt because they will abuse you with it. They will take that as naivete and they will see it as gullibleness and weakness, and you will be punished for it. That's what they have shown to be the case time after time and time again. A lineage of evil. And you have to address them as such. You have to deal with these demonic possessed individuals as such. Unfortunately, but that's what we're dealing with. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, oh, look, you're just making it a racial issue, okay? Race had nothing to do with that, okay? They were in the right. The officer was in the wrong. I would like to believe that. Trust me, I genuinely would like to believe that. I really would. But time after time after time again is your words and your actions betray you. That's what happens. They want to say it's not racial, but every single time I'm pretty good with pattern recognition, and the pattern goes to show, it leads to the logical conclusion that there is some racial undertone as to who they defend and who they choose to persecute. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, you're more than welcome to call in during Disagreement Day. Friday through Sunday, you know where to find me. Call in, we'll duke it out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, let me know what you guys think, and subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. What is this? This is very uncommon. I can't believe the officer did such a thing. This is horrible. Man, it's these female officers.